Move on to the next 4:05 game, Atlanta Falcons at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We go back to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. Atlanta opening up as 13-point dogs. They moved to 12.5-point dogs. They are now 12-point dogs. The total moved from 53 down to 52. Let's take a look at that. So we've seen a 1-point move on both sides in total. 4,917 tickets in, 62% of the tickets, 82% of the cash on the Buccaneers. Market moving towards Atlanta. 68% of the tickets and 90% of the cash on the over. And that has gone down a point. So reverse line movement in both spots. Falcons open their season with a disaster. Just an absolute disaster. 32-6 at home to the Eagles. I'm on the under 7.5 wins at plus 100. So I liked seeing that because that was one of my question mark games. And I figured if they lose that one, they're going to be in big trouble trying to get to 8 wins. They had 2 nice drives to open up the game, but settled for field goals and did squat-ass zilch for the rest of the game. Never advanced farther than the Philadelphia 49 after those 2 drives. Finished with 260 yards. Matt Ryan, 21-35 for 164 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Calvin Ridley caught 5 passes for 51 yards. Kyle Pitts, 4 for 31. Mike Davis got his Falcon career off to a disappointing start. He ran 15 times for 49 yards, just 3.3 yards per carry. Cordero Patterson looked like the most dangerous running back. The defense looked terrible. 1 sack only, didn't get any pressure. Brady threw for 379 yards and 4 touchdowns in the 31-29 win over the Cowboys. And afterwards, he said, look, there's a lot to clean up. He just seems like he's in control of everything. Looks like he just decides everybody's futures, and he just sits back and smiles and kisses his son on the mouth and bangs supermodels. I mean, it's a wild life he lives. The Bucs hope to become the first team to repeat since Brady did it in 03-04. Godwin, Gronkowski, and Antonio Brown caught first-half touchdowns. Shout out to Birdie, who bet Antonio Brown to lead the league in receiving yards. 5 catches for 121 yards. He just looked so good. Godwin, 9 catches for 105 yards. But he had the major fumble. The Bucs look like they're not even really trying out here. And this looks like another kind of tricky spot. You have to think, I don't know. The Buccaneers and Brady's teams don't care about being great early. They care about being great late. Ixnizzle says Bucs minus 12.5. I'm not overthinking it. Lonnie Lover says Bucs minus 12.5. I'm definitely going under the total. 50 plus is too rich for this game. Bebsie, take it away, Falcons, Bucs.
It just feels like too many points, and it almost feels like a trap with how awful the Falcons were and how great Tampa squeaked by a Dallas Cowboys team that I don't believe in at all. So I don't know if they look great. Tom looked very good in week 1. I don't know how you don't look good with all those weapons and that offensive line. But he did. He looked great in week 1. He didn't look old like he did a lot of the time last year. Sorry, he did. But it's just too many points. It's too many points for me to get in on this. I can't see the Falcons being that bad again. And to just echo what you said there, Jimmy, I mean, this is a team that's probably already looking past this game to a degree. I mean, they're still professionals, but they're not going to come down full throttle on them. And did Birdie really bet Antonio Brown to lead the league in this year?
This year, yeah, before the season started, a huge price.
I mean, that's wild. Birdie, I would love to see that cash for you. I loved your anytime touchdown for him last week, and I almost tailed it. I wish I had. It was a great look. That's a tall order to see him lead the league. Holy shit, would I love to see it. But it's just too many points for me.
I don't see how I don't bet the Falcons here at plus 12.5. I just don't see how and I also don't think that my palms just started leaking as I said that. I also don't see this getting better. I don't see public hammering this to 14 or anything like that. The books are not going to do that. I think this just gets lighter as the day goes on. Pinnacle's already moved it to 12. Bet365 still hanging the 12.5. I think this is a must. I think this is a must bet. Falcons plus 12.5 here. I do. I mean, the Bucs, Brady just does not. It's not that he doesn't care. He just knows that it's just not important right now. And the Falcons know how important it is. And Arthur Smith, everybody, they need to stay in this game. Prince of the Sea says, I don't care. It's 32.5 Bucs team total. They say they want to score 40 a game. I think they'll start scoring 40 a game once we get to week 10 or 12. Dennis Garcia says Tampa Bay is Rams and then New England in Brady's return game. I am going to be moving on the Atlanta Falcons here at plus 12.5, and I'm going to bet it tonight. I don't think I'll get a better line. And from a total perspective, Bebsie, this total sitting at 52, is it too high?
The way I see it getting caught is a backdoor cover. But yeah, I don't see them going full throttle, which is why I can see them. That's why I like your call on taking the Falcons to cover here. But I don't know. It's an ugly place for me to want to bet. Mentally, where I'm thinking of betting from is not a good spot. I'm betting on the thing that I think will happen because it shouldn't happen, which is just silly logic. So I'm staying off it. I can see that total hitting the over because I can see some garbage minute touchdowns. But I don't know. It's another game for me that's a weird look.
Michael Overlina says, I think it goes to 13 on Sunday. Could you guys do me a favor here and pop in the chat whether you think that there will be a better line for the Falcons come Sunday than the 12.5 that I could bet right now, and keeping in mind that Pinnacle's moved it to 12. If you guys could let me know, I'd like to do a little vote here and see if you guys think that I'll get a better line than the 12.5 I could bet tonight on the Falcons.